What if I told you that in less than 30 minutes you can write a Python program that analyzes data like a pro, finding the highest score, lowest score, total, range, and even the average? And the crazy part, you don't need to be an expert. Today I'm going to show you step by step by using a simple example with names like Elon, Musk, Mark, and Zuckerberg. And by the end of this video, you will understand some of the most important concepts in Python like lists, loops, and data types. So if you ever wanted to start programming but didn't know where to begin, this video is for you. Let's get started. So let's get started. First, we are going to need our editor. We are going to use VS Code. As you see, I have opened it, but you will need to install if you've not installed it yet. So we shall open a folder here, and we shall look for any folder where we can put our work. For me, I place it here. So when I tap, I have my folder already here. If you don't have it yet, anywhere you can just click and create a new one, a new folder, like this. Once you've created it, for example, I named it Python lesson one. Like you can name it anything like lesson one. Okay, then you click it. So I'll select the folder, and it will open up in my new window here. You're going to see it. Then first I'll have to create a file inside the folder. So this button here creates a new file. This button here creates a new folder. So if you're a complete beginner, you can just tap here and the new file will appear here. So with Python, every file that we create will end with .py to tell the computer that we are using a Python programming language. So I can put lesson. It is preferable to use small case letters lesson.py. So I open it up, and these are the instructions that we are going to follow that we shall use to create our program. We are going to write a Python program that uh, shows the students and their marks, that shows each student with their mark, that finds the highest score, that finds the lowest score, that calculates the range, that's the difference between the highest mark and the lowest mark, that calculates the total score, that calculates the average score, and displays the information in the output or in the terminal. So I'll have to copy these steps here that we shall use to follow along, so that I can just put them in my workspace. So this is already our guide. They are commented. A commented line does not run as a program, so it just guides us on to what we have to do. So it will not run, but it will be left out. Then we have our expected output that we would like to get. So this is the expected output that we want to get. So I can create here another file, but I'll make sure it is a text file. So I can name it output dot txt, and then I'll paste here. So this is the expected output. We are going to have four children, four people, Elon, Musk, Mark, and Zuckerberg, and we shall display their information or their marks. Then we shall look for the highest mark, we shall look for the lowest mark, we shall look for the range, total marks, and then finally the average mark. So let's start off. We shall start by step one. We shall create our data. And our data, we are going to create it in what we call a list, a data type called a list that stores different information in one variable. For example, we are going to say students, and then I'll have to put them in quotes. For example, the first student I will have Elon, The second, we can put mask, and the third, we can put mark, and the fourth, we can put Zuckerberg. And then this is our list. It contains different data inside it. For example, Elon Musk, Mark Zuckerberg. And then the students data list is already done. From here we shall make the list of marks. And this we shall put the first one has 90, 80, 70, 85. We have the first is 19, 18, 90, 18, 70, 85, 70, 85. Sorry. And then our list, we have finished to create our list. The next step is showing each student with their mark. Now here we are going to use a loop that is going to automate our program. So we are going to use a for loop for I in range of students list, students list, student, students list. We have here, we have told the computer to go through all these names here. We have told the program to go through these names here. Each student, each student, each student. Now we have given each student uh, an ID, and here we are using the index format. Why? If we are look at the length of students, it means number of students 1, 2, 3, 4. But when we bring in range, it changes the 1, 2, 3, 4 to index format, whereby we start with 0, 1, 2, 3. So we have finished to give each student a specific position that we are going to use to pick out each student with the mark. So we are going to print, but when we print, we are going to use an F string that is going to display the variables with the corresponding variables. So when we are displaying, we are going to display each student at a certain index with the mark at the corresponding index. So for this, it means it goes and gives each student an index 0, 1, 2, 3. Then each mark the index 0, 1, 2, 3. So when we look at the first index 0, it corresponds with the index at the marks which is 0. So Elon is corresponding with 90, Musk with 80, Mark with 70, Zuckerberg with 85. So let us first run this and we'll see what we are dealing with here in the output. So when we run this, it says there is an error somewhere. Let us look at it. We have plugged in the problem. All right, the problem was with the curly brackets here. So curly brackets are used to call functions, but we need to use square brackets for us to call an item in a list. So we shall use a square bracket here and here. Alright, let's run and see what we can get now. As we look, we have been able to display the first information that the student with their information. So step 3, we are going to find the highest score. How do we use that? We are going to use mean maximum score, or to look for the maximum score, and we are going to use mean to look for the minimum score. For example, now here we are going to create a variable highest score. So let's use with small case. Highest highest score. We don't leave a space, and we shall say is equal to the max, which is the maximum, and the max, the max. So as we see, the marks are 90, 80, 70, 85. So we expect it to be 90. So when we are to print it out, we cancel print. We shall use the F string, highest score, or highest mark to be. We put curly brackets, and then we shall bring option, say highest score. So that will be able to show us the highest mark. Let us run this and we see. Alright, as we can see, highest mark, it has shown us 90. Then there's also the other important thing. We can skip a line by saying backslash n, and when we run this again, we see the difference here that we have left a line. So that is how we have got the maximum number or the highest score. Then when we look at step 4, finding the lowest score, we shall say lowest score, lowest score is here we shall use minimum to represent the lowest number or the lowest integer. So minimum of the max gives us the lowest score. So now we can print the lowest by introducing the F string, and we can put the quotation marks. We can also skip a line, okay, and then we shall say uh, lowest mark is curly brackets. Then we look at the number we had stored into the variable lowest score. So now well, we can also go to the next step, step 5, calculate the range. We know it very well that range is equal to highest score minus lowest score. We had already stored our maximum number, our highest mark in the highest score variable. So we shall say highest score minus the lowest score, the number we had stored in the variable lowest score. And then we can print it out. We can print and say, we can say the range is, and we can curly brackets, and we say range. So that can show us the number or the result we can get after subtracting the highest score minus the lowest score. Or let us first see the output right now by clicking the run button. As we can see here the range is 20. So here the SP has changed a little bit, but that is it. We can also skip a line if we want to. can say that when we run again and we see the result, as we can see, the SP has arranged properly and the space we have skipped it. So, step 6, we are going to calculate the total score. How do we look for the total score? We add all the marks. And here we are going to use a keyword that will help us, which is sum, that will add all the marks. So if I'm looking for the total, I will say sum of all the marks. It will be able to show me the total. I can print out my total. Print f string total to be curly brackets, the number stored in the total variable, so it will be total. As we can see now, let us try to print out to see what we can get. As we can see, the total, when it adds all of them, it is getting 325. Then we can also skip the line, okay, by doing that. Then step 7 is calculating the average score. How do we get average score? The average score, we get the total divided by the number of items. So for example here, we have, for us to get our average, we have to say the total, the number stored in the variable total, we divide it by sorry, we divide it by the number of marks on the number of students. We can use length to count the number of students or to count the number of marks. So length of marks gives us the number of students. Then the total is already calculated. We don't need to bother with making another formula again of total. So that should give us the total. Let us print out our total, see what we can get. So print our total, sorry, upstream total is uh, the variable. Sorry, we are printing average. Average average is stored in the variable average. And when we have to print out, let's see what we can get. We see the average is 81.25. So when we look at these things here, we can see that there are different data types that we have been using. For example, we have used a list that stores different data inside one variable. This is a list of students, this is a list of marks, and the marks that we can see here we have these ones, we call them integers, the numbers without a decimal. Then here, for example, the output of average after dividing it is having a decimal. So we call that a decimal, a floating value. So thank you for so much for following through the lesson. I will keep on sharing different steps like this every day. Don't forget to subscribe to get more of this. So we can conclude here by saying uh, print, thank you. We can say program finished. Program finished. And then when we run again, we can see uh, the expected output as we had wanted. Each student with each mark, highest mark, lowest mark, range, SP for range. Range is RANG. Where did we find it? Here. So we have to put in the so range we have calculated for it. We have calculated for the total, average, and found the highest and lowest mark. Thank you for watching.